The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now, your hosts, Barry Church, Anthony Dorsett, Damontre Moore, and Newy Scruggs.
Here we are. It's time for the Players Lounge. Back in business here at the Star in Frisco.
Ooh.
That's WBC Podcast Studio. The crew is back in here, all former players except for me. You got Anthony Dorsett, the Pitt Panther. Texas A&M's finest. He's Damontre Moore. And we got Barry Church, Hall of Fame Toledo
Let's
Rocket.
go, baby.
Hall of Famer. Newy Scruggs.
We have that's a clean quarter zip, bro. I ain't gonna lie. That's a clean quarter zip right there.
When you're, Hall of Famers,
Man.
legends
Here we go.
from Pitt just don't walk around and, just because you choose not to wear your blue and gold, Barry Church.
Y'all ain't remind me. I
No,
had some
no,
fresh
no,
stuff
see,
for
I
y'all.
gotta remind you to wear your stuff.
Sometimes,
But
you know
speaking
what
of Hall of
Pride
Fame,
comes from this man here when he brings out his gear.
Yes, sir, man.
Let's go ahead, Trey.
talk about that. I heard you, Mr. Hall of Fame, add another HOF to his title.
Man, yes. And this is it's one of those type of feelings where like you don't know if you ever appreciate it. You know what I mean? And then you get something like that happen, and it all puts everything into perspective. But fortunately for me, I got nominated to go into another Hall of Fame. I'm going into the J.J. Pierce Richardson High School Hall of Fame.
Word.
Yeah, man.
Get your flowers while you can smell them right now.
So it's me, Chris Jackie, kicker who played for Green Bay Packers, and Drew Timme, the basketball player.
Oh, yeah.
Drew Timme was. I didn't know. Where's Pierce at? Is that
Richardson?
Okay.
And
we've had quite a few guys go from that school.
what about Talib? Is Akeem Talib from that school? Or is he from a different
I think he went to Berkner.
Oh,
Yes, he did.
I thought he was
Richardson
a Berkner.
I think he went to Berkner.
yes.
Now we played against Berkner.
North Dallas.
You know what I'm saying? But we'd had a few guys come, and Pierce is supposed to be known as that academic powerhouse. But we got some athletes over there too. So shout out
Said he doing
to
both of
I
them.
love to hear it,
Shout out
man.
to
Love to
J.J.
hear it.
Pierce.
Congrats, big
Thank you,
dog.
guys. Thank you.
Excellent.
Dope.
Okay, this football season is over. All of us picked Seattle to win the Super Bowl.
Caw-caw!
Seahawks win it 29
nest.
to 13. And so I just asked a simple question. You guys are former players here. You watched the game. You saw the Seahawks. What would you look to the Cowboys to say, man, you might want to go take a little bit of that, or can you make a couple of moves that you saw them make? By the way, congratulations to former Dallas Cowboy.
D-Law, man. Congrats.
Yes.
Signed with Seattle, said he left. He said he knew he wasn't going to win a Super Bowl with the Cowboys.
Say
You're
that.
out.
Boy.
That was back in August when he said?
What?
He
Hey.
called it. He called it, and
That's a Raven.
the Super Bowl champion on the same field, Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California, that DeMarcus Ware, who left the Cowboys, ended up winning a Super Bowl there. So, all right, I'll start with you, Church.
Yo, so what I noticed the moves Seattle made during the offseason, it was a lot of great moves, but they added a lot of depth pieces. Like especially on that defensive line, when you look at what they were able to do in Seattle, they had a rotating cast of people that can get after the quarterback and play at a high level. It wasn't just, one or two guys here that, look, if those two guys are balling, we're good. But if they're not really balling like that, we're a middle-of-the-pack defense. They had guys, Leonard Williams, D-Law, Jordan Reed that's out there as well.
Jay Reed
was able to go out there. They had
brother.
depth, and they were just able to wear out offensive lines as the game went on. You go from the first quarter to the fourth quarter, those dudes were humming pretty much the entire game, making things hard for quarterbacks out there. So I love what they did on that side of the football. What the Cowboys got to do offensively, you got your playmakers. You got CD, you got, hopefully, George stays around for a while. You got Dak, you got all those guys out there. But defensively, I believe they need more depth pieces in that front seven. Not only, just not a star guy here, just depth where you can have some rotating pieces out there and you have a fresh defense as it goes on. So I love what they did depth-wise, and I'm not so sure about, picking superstars here and there. But getting a lot of guys that are good at their position, I think will pay dividends for this Cowboys defense overall.
I think they just got to take. I know it's a copycat league, but you really can't take from them because this is a whole different situation. But when you look at it from the standpoint of, you got a new coach coming in there after a coach that left a hell of a legacy in Pete Carroll and himself, and it was like, man, do I come in here and try to do what Pete Carroll do? or did here? Do I implement those certain things? And it was like, no, he embraced his own identity. Like you said, he brought in those depth pieces to where you seen that D-line humming, the defense doing what they did, the offense was there, but they played complementary football in all three phases, but they didn't worry about what was going there. Like, we all know, like, when a coach like that leaves and they have a Super Bowl under their title, they've been there and they built the foundation for them, it's always a knack of, like, people don't expect you to be there. And so for them, they took that on. And I think what Dallas has started to do that kind of is like that, like the new DC is coming here and saying, man, forget the old, what you've done historically, being handcuffed here. Like, I feel like he's starting to take a presence of picking his own staff and just coming in here and just switching it up, cutting vets that are no longer tied here. Like, we all know that this is a loyal organization. Like, if you have some skin in the game here, you're still here, whether it's head coaches or assistant coaches or players. Like, and he came in and said, nah, I'm getting them out here. They're not even here. So I think that they need to take that from Seattle as far as switching stuff up.
To piggyback off of what both of you guys said, and you know, to mention it, the league is very repetitive. But I think that some of the things that I've seen Seattle do, and I don't know if it was just a process of this past offseason or if it was a process of just the team coming together over the past few years. But if you look at pretty much every position on their defense, they got vets. They were not a very young team, right? So they had some guys in there who knew how to play, whether they be guys that they drafted or guys that they brought from other teams as well. One of the key components outside of that defense that I saw in the D-line was Witherspoon, that nickelback.
It was cold.
That did so much either in the secondary or in the pass rush too as well. You know what I mean? And so structurally looking at it, the Cowboys let that get out of house last year.
They did.
All right? So number one, I think that if they do anything, they go back and they copy the simple fact that they have solid veterans for that leadership, for that depth, and to be able to teach. Then they went out and got Cooper Kupp on offense. All right? You got a young receiver like Njigba back there who and the other guys who probably need some tutorship. You know what I'm saying? So you go out there and you get a dude that's already won a Super Bowl, but then always been the trifecta guy, right? He's reception leader, touchdown leader, like everything else like that. You know, so I think that, you know, so I think that what the Seahawks were able to do was real smart. And they went out there and they got some solid guys. But whatever they did in the offseason for the team building processes to come together, for all that stuff to come to fruition so quick, and like I was listening to what's the linebacker, Young or
Ernest Jones.
I'm sorry. And I was listening to him, and he was talking about how many of the players on that team had, like, I guess you could say, tragedies this year. Several dudes lost their fathers. All right. And whether it be players and coaches on the staff, and it ended up bringing everybody together, you know, because that's the pain that, you know, when you're mourning and you're going through stuff like that, you need some type of support. And being that, you know, unfortunately that was part of their team struggle this year, I think that was part of the thing that brought those boys together too as well. So if the Cowboys can look at doing anything, man, I say go out there and find some solid pieces, like you said, some vets, some good leadership, and find somebody that can honestly be that key guy, whether it be on the D-line, in the secondary, or that linebacker that is that dynamic, like Witherspoon, who can affect the game in two different places.
The Cowboys did have conversations with Cooper Kupp, and Kupp decided to go to Seattle. He played college ball up in the state of Washington, so basically went home. And clearly he made the right choice. So they did that. Puka Nacua spoke about what he learned from Cooper Kupp and how it helped in his development. We see Puka Nacua as one of the better players in the National Football League. And how about John Schneider? And you know, it's kind of interesting when you talk about it's sent DK Metcalf to Pittsburgh.
They did.
They gave him big contact, go. So then he ended up leaving, get a big deal from the Steelers, let him go, which allowed Jackson Smith-Njigba to become the number one.
Right.
That's right.
And then you bring in a guy like Cooper Kupp with his experience as a technician, a former Super Bowl MVP, Triple Crown winner. He's working with a guy who already has a tremendous work ethic, Jackson Smith-Njigba from Rockwall. Very smart move. I think that's a very you guys all played in the league. I think it's a very underrated thing when you bring in some veteran players and a guy who walks around, he's got a ring on his finger. So when 100%. He says something, it's not just some bull jive.
You do.
And I could be wrong about this, but when I looked at that team throughout the season, I didn't see too many, like they didn't hurt themselves throughout you don't see like all personal fouls or throwing punches in people. Like they didn't hurt themselves in that way. You didn't really see any egos. It was all, like you said, AD, kind of a camaraderie out there, a brothership, all going towards one goal. You didn't see anybody sitting there saying, I need the ball, or, I'm not getting enough targets, or, my route tree, this, that, and the third, or I need more carries. Even the backfield with Kenneth Walker, who's the Super Bowl MVP, he shared that with Zach Charbonnet throughout the majority of the season before he got hurt. So, you just saw it was literally a group of guys all going for one goal, and nobody, ego got in the way, nothing like that. Even Sam Darnold was like, shoot, my defense is playing well, I'm going to play to my defense. Or if my run game is doing well, I don't need to throw for 350 yards. So, man, I think that type of leadership you need in a locker room in order to get to that same goal, man. You didn't see any egos out there.
Speaking of mistakes, real quick, speaking of mistakes, in the Super Bowl, only 4 penalties by Seattle. 4.
Just disciplined team.
And only 3 by New England.
Both disciplined teams, yeah.
That's the culture, though. Like, you talk about Sam. Sam's been that guy his whole career. He's never been a big in the media, taking up that. But honestly, as much as it's the player, like, I got to give some love to my guys when I was there. John Snyder and Mo Kelly, the player development guy that's there. He was a former player. He played in the league, played in the CFL. And with him and John, Pete has helped establish that, but they've been able to carry on that torch of where they built a pedigree there. When you talk about Cooper Kupp being there, y'all fail to mention Jaron Reed when he come back. Like, hey, Big J Reed, he was there with Mike Bennett, Cliff Averill, been able to learn up under those guys that have built that culture and that foundation to where you got young guys off of the D line that have had star powers throughout their career. Leonard Williams before he got there to getting there. Then you got a guy like D Law that wants to win in that veteranship. Like, it goes hand in hand. And from, like I said, shout out to Mike and what he's done and being there. But even before he was there, they pride themselves on like trying to be disciplined, being the most disciplined, not shooting ourselves in the foot, and most importantly, not paying attention to the media. Because before, everybody was like, oh, this might be a rebuilding year. There's so many different questions. Sam Darnold not being this guy. And they really went on. So when you say, what can you implement? The main thing that the Cowboys should be implementing is stop worrying about the media. Stop worrying about us fans, what's going on. Pickens coming back, doing this and doing that. Like, embrace the culture, because last year they didn't even embrace their DC. And so with this new DC, you want to hope that the guys can do that and come together and then build their narrative, if that makes sense.
Well, they also, and I'll say this, the difference between Seattle and when you talk about the Cowboys is Seattle's out of the way. You played up there. You got to want to get the national media has never paid a whole lot of attention. It doesn't matter whether you're talking about the Seahawks or you're talking about the Mariners. This is just Seattle sports never really get talked about until they get to these to the end. Here.
Yes,
that's just how it goes. Seattle's baseball team was really good last year. People talk about it. You know what I mean? So it's different. But the Cowboys, right out of the gate, you're going to be on Sunday Night Football 3 times. That's just how it is.
Yeah,
that's fact.
And you're going to play on Thanksgiving Day. Nobody in the league is playing as many primetime games like the Cowboys. They put them in there. Last year, the Cowboys kicked off the season.
Yeah.
Against the Super Bowl champs. But, the Cowboys are there. And I'll guarantee you this right now. The Cowboys will be on NBC in primetime either week 1 or 2 coming up. It's just going to. So you're going to, to fly under the radar.
It's going to be tough here.
Yeah, it's going to be hard that way.
It's not more so fly under the radar. It's more so ignoring the radar. Like, when you were there, it was like, hey, we know guys, like, you're going to get your shine. When the Legion boomed, they're talking about them like, you're going to get this. It was like they didn't care. We didn't care, like, what was going on when they were talking good or when they were talking bad. And so, because like you said, the media doesn't get there. So now all of a sudden you want to get there when people are winning, or you want to talk bad about somebody when they're not there. So it's like, create your own narrative. And the Cowboys got to learn how to create their own narrative. Like Michael Irvin said, like, I seen him quote him the other day. He said, man, people was worried about George Pickens and CD when they got in trouble. I'm looking at them like, they boys. They with each other. Like, create your own narrative and spin it. Like, people were saying, are y'all the Legion of Boom? No, we're the Dark Side. MOB, they switched it up. Like, why can't the Cowboys control their narrative with the great vets that they have in there?
I think that what we've seen, and we haven't had a chance to discuss it yet, but the the almost different type of culture shift that we've seen in this building, okay? From all these coaches being hired on this defensive side of the ball, all right? Number one, I'm just going to be honest. I've never seen this many black coaches on the staff with the Dallas Cowboys. But then, two, it's the youth, all right? And it's the different eyes and where these guys are coming from and the success that is coming into the building with them, all right? It's not like they're going out there and they're getting like some average run-of-the-mill coaches. No, the majority of these coaches have come from like either, like where they've had all pros, they've been to the playoffs, they've been to Super Bowls, whatever the case may be. So in looking at that and just trying to see which direction I think is going in, I think that, like, you used to hear me say it all the time, like, everybody in here looking through the same binoculars. Where it seemed like it's some new eyes coming in the building now. You know what I mean? And so with those new sets of eyes, I hope there's some new accountability and to go along with that, some new responsibility too as well to hold it down and to make sure that, like, as they try to continue to go uphill, it continues to go uphill and it just doesn't like plateau off.
Yeah,
right.
All right, let's get our first break in here. When we come back, something that I did see from Seattle, that if you're on the hopium train,
that hopium,
if you're about
dangerous.
Cowboys hopium, you're gonna get another shot at the Cowboy hopium. They might be able to spin this and make a comparison. We'll do it next. Barry Church, Trey Moore, Anthony Dorsett. I'm Newy Scruggs. Players Lounge brought to you by Aristocrat Gaming on DallasCowboys.com.
Hey there, Cowboys Nation. Kyle Yeomans here, sharing that same team that brought you Buffalo, bringing NFL casino games that show America's team on and off the reels. Aristocrat is changing the game with a new experience. Football fans, this means you can pick your team and play your team. Check out the Cowboys-themed casino games developed by Aristocrat, a proud sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. Gambling problem? Please contact the U.S. National Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-GAMBLER for 21 and over.
We got big personalities. We got big hair, big belt buckles. We got fans all across this big state and enemies in every other one. We even got a big star on the 50-yard line. Smirnoff knows football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together. With good drinks and good folks home or away, we rally together. We cry together. And we always rally cry together because, most of all, we got big love for them boys. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
Returning for the 2025 NFL season, Boss reunites with the Dallas Cowboys to drop the next chapter of their iconic collaboration. The Boss Cowboys collection fuses fashion and football once again, capturing the fearless spirit of what it means to be your own boss. Just in time for kickoff, gear up in standout styles that show your team pride with a bold edge. Available now at NFLshop.com/HugoBoss, HugoBoss.com, and Boss retail stores. # be your own boss.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Get excited for the most dazzling DCC experience. Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders is live. It is coming to theaters near you. Witness iconic groups, solo performances, enjoy on-stage Q&A, and even be a part of a live audition. For dates and tickets, visit DallasCowboysCheerleaders.com/tour.
Thank you, Damontre Moore in the house here for the Players Lounge. This is brought to you by Aristocrat Gaming. Got Barry Church, former Dallas Cowboy. Got Anthony Dorsett, former Raider, former Titan, played in 2 Super Bowls, son of the great Hall of Famer Tony Dorsett. I'm just merely Newy Scruggs carrying on the conversation with these gentlemen. So, Super Bowl, wrap it up here, kind of looking at how does it relate to the Cowboys a little bit. We got to sell the hopium.
Gotta get that.
Jerry gonna sell his hopium.
A new batch coming in.
People coming back. 30 years without Super Bowl people, Jerry's still bringing them in the house. He's still gonna get them in the house.
The bad news
You're 31
reporter.
of we getting back. We back.
It's all year. It's all year.
Man, at least he consistent, man.
Hey, look, ain't nobody make more money. I can't remember, was it Lids who came out with like nobody sold they number one in merchandise. Cowboys, number one in merchandise league. Okay, people buying it. So, and they're going to Rio. now.
Oh, I seen that.
Schedule came
Yeah,
out.
they all the way down the
Cowboys
road.
playing preseason.
They ain't gonna be
game.
allowed off the resort. But,
Hey,
you know,
Hey, boy.
I'm trying to get on that trip.
Can we have some
That's what I'm
podcast
saying.
trips?
Can I get it?
I'm trying to get on that trip.
I don't know whose hand I got to shake, but I just want to be the media to cover.
Man.
So, 6 sacks by that Seahawk defense in the Super Bowl. Drake man. So if you're selling the hopium, telling the Cowboys, Seattle, big up front, big people, strong like bulls, strong like bulls.
Strong like ox.
They bring in homeboy from Philadelphia, Super Bowl. He was with the Super Bowl team 2 years ago. Strong like bulls up front. Jerry, look at us now. Quinnen Williams, Kenny Clark, also Diggy Zoo, strong like bulls.
Up front, strong like bull.
Davin Ezeraku on one side. Try to go get somebody else. This is going to be the hopium you sell. This is it. Now, it doesn't have to be it don't have to be a full potent batch, but he's going to have to give you something. And that's what's going to say, we've got an offense over here. So Jerry said, we got an offense. We just need to get a little better right here. So we saw this is what the last 2 Super Bowl champions are doing. Front 4, strong. 2 number 1 picks. Potential free agency. It's there. Ian Rappaport, NFL Network, said the Cowboys will franchise George Pickens, but maybe they trade George Pickens.
Get some more picks in there, or trading for another
Trade
valuable
him for,
edge
trade him
piece,
for
maybe.
trade him for a 2. Maybe spend some more money in other places. Anyway, just throwing it out there. So, but this league runs off trends. Young head coach, Mike McDonald, Brian Schottenheimer, young head coach, came from Seattle. I'm just throwing it out there, Trey. When you're mixing this batch of opium, Trey, you got to put stuff in it. You got to put stuff in the gumbo here.
Like
sell to the people.
Like Mike said, man, I don't do this. I don't partake. But if I am gonna partake, give me something that's strong. Barry, you've been a person that had some of the hopium last year, and you fell victim. And he just said it's not as strong. So he making it good. And shout out to my dog Floyd. He said, "Ease up, Newy. Ease up on it." He said he's not buying the hopium, and I'm not buying the hopium. It does sound good, and there are a lot of things that are starting to get there, but with those big guys up front, you need linebackers. You need edge rushers.
Trey's February hopium. Now you keep building.
February hopium, baby.
And what did I tell you last
next
year? And what did I tell you last year? I said, let us get to training camp, and I'll be able to tell you a little bit more.
Next month is free agency. So right now,
you're not gonna get me. You got him last year.
Give me the batch.
Now,
now. Give me the batch.
He wasn't there at 10 wins in February. So
He kind of was.
Jerry cooking.
He's cooking right now.
He cooking.
We in the lab.
Right. So you just the gumbo. You put the sausage in. Got the D tackles. That's the sausage. And andouille right there. So I'm telling you, man.
I don't eat pork.
Word.
I don't eat pork, so that don't appetize me. Let me get the meal ready.
Get
What
the
do you
meal
say?
ready?
Make the meal ready. I want to see it once it hit my plate. Then even after it hit my plate, I need to taste it.
See,
I need to.
But he's got to. He got to start.
He's getting it.
He's getting it.
He's got ultra white right now.
You look at the coaches team
got the-
on defense right now. I mean, look at that. See, Dorsett is sitting up
Now,
there.
He does got the
Dorsett,
ingredients.
there's Dorsett like.
No. So what I'm not going to do.
Paprika.
You're not going to.
Paprika.
I'm not going. Exactly. And so part of the year last year, I took some of the bait. You know what I'm saying? I'm up in here. Y'all done been in the building. Y'all done played for the team. Y'all done played under these coaches. I'm thinking that it might be a vibe that y'all might have that I don't know about. Nah, bro. I'm going to go ahead and stick to it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to make it hard on these boys. You know what I'm saying? And the proof is in the pudding. All right? And that's just what it is. We got 30 years to show that it ain't been right. Okay? So don't expect me to jump on board.
Just hold
overnight.
Just hold your horses. But they switched up. You like what do you say? I'm not always about you gotta be devil's advocate. Did you not say that
are.
this is the first time that we have seen a staff like this put together?
Young.
Yeah.
This is the
Young
first
staff.
and this young staff, melanin, coming in here taking it and saying, hey guys, we don't like this.
Hey,
as a defensive guy, when I study y'all having George Pickett and this and that over there, that made like that, he was talking to them boys to where when we've always heard about this, it's always we got our hire, a kumbaya moment, never the negatives coming out like I'm immediately addressing this. And so with them doing that right off back, it kind of makes me say, hey, I like this. And then asking the players around the league that are still either in the game or now coaching and that have worked with these guys, I've heard phenomenal things.
So you two can sit up here right now and say you're not with the Hopium, but church, they looking.
They looking.
No, I look, but I want the best.
He ain't with the Hopium.
I said I'm not with it.
He got to argue
with
for
that,
why
yeah,
to be
man.
with it, though.
I got it. I said I want to see.
They peeking in the blind.
Hey, what Mike said, I don't indulge, but I'm going to sit here and look.
Okay, and that's all. Jerry just gonna get. All Jerry needs you to do start to look.
So what Jerry needs to do, not to cut you off, I'm sorry,
go ahead,
but what Jerry needs to do is that like there has to be that big name splash as a free agent on defense.
That's March. That's March, baby. This
All
is
right,
February.
it has to
Black
happen.
History Month. He give you coaches.
It has to
Next
happen.
month he can bring you some free agents.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm more so based off of what we know Jerry would do. Jerry would tell you sell you the world and do exactly what he wants to do at the end of the day. All right. So that being said, yeah, I see the transition. I see all the color coming up in here. I see all the young energy and these different coaches coming up in here.
To batch is different.
But at the end of the day, that man upstairs, and I ain't talking about God, I'm talking about Jerry. All right, he got the final say over everything in this building. All right, so he could put them people in places and still turn a deaf ear to whatever they saying. It has to actually come to fruition. The rubber got to meet the road.
Can I ask you this though? With everything going, because remember I was the guy that was saying, hey, the foundation is starting to change and you're starting to see a shift. We seen the aggressive free agency approach and trades going through there, and Jerry said, hey, like, I hear you guys. I'm not overpaying nobody. I'm not reaching and giving these guys this money, and I'm going to go do something over here. That's changing the road. Do you think that he's going to continue with the momentum that him and Steven and the rest of the higher-ups are going with right now in their approach to free agency, their approach to the draft? Because like Newy mentioned, with the Hopium, if you trade George Pickens and get more picks, do you think that allows them that wiggle room? So do you think they're going to keep that aggressive approach, or they're going to go back to what they typically do? Because typically the Cowboys don't spend that much in free agency.
Right, and I think that what they've noticed over the years is that hasn't been the key to getting them to where they want to go. All right, we just said it a minute ago. They got 30 years of experience of not doing what everybody else has been doing as far as trendy, going out there, making those big splashes, spending that money. You get what you pay for sometimes. We all know that. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. And so with this being said, with this organization being what it is, it's not hard for them to go out and guys want to come here. Especially if you're an offensive dude and you can see that what Dak Prescott's doing, and like guys want to come here. If I'm a player looking at teams to actually go to, and I'm saying how far is the team away from someplace, and I think that I might be an integral part to changing the culture or the situation, yeah, the Cowboys is one of the top places I'm looking at. Because I know they got the bread, and I know I know that with that being said, they can bring some talent in here around everything that's going on. They just have to stay aggressive.
Got to get a break in here. A sad moment over this week for Cowboy fans, and also one more thing where the Seahawks got right that the Cowboys have got to start to look at themselves to see, are we doing the same thing, and how do we get better at that? We'll do that next right here on the Players Lounge, brought to you by Aristocrat Gaming on DallasCowboys.com.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a champ, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce, and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
Life is a workout, and Smoothie King is here to help you power through. Whether you're maxing out overhead presses, pushing through chest flies, or being the hero your golden retriever needs to carry them over that scary bridge, Smoothie King has the fuel to help you go all out. Build muscle and boost your recovery with 45 grams of protein, 0 grams of added sugar, and delicious customizable ingredients in the Gladiator Smoothie. Available in chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla. only at Smoothie King.
Hey there, Cowboys Nation. Kyle Yeomans here, sharing that same team that brought you Buffalo, bringing NFL casino games that show America's team on and off the reels. Aristocrat is changing the game with a new experience. Football fans, this means you can pick your team and play your team. Check out the Cowboys-themed casino games developed by Aristocrat, a proud sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. Gambling problem? Please contact the U.S. National Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-GAMBLER for 21 and over.
Hey, Cowboy fans. Keith Davis here, former Cowboys safety.
Keith Davis into the end zone.
You know what separates champions from the rest? Making the right move at the right moment. With blockchain.com, that's never been easier. The Cowboys became America's team by striking bold when it mattered most. Now it's your turn. Invest like your icons with blockchain.com. Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys today to get started and learn more. That's blockchain.com/Cowboys.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Cowboys Nation, Dallas Cowboys United, presented by Globe Life, is exclusively in the Dallas Cowboys app. Barry, stop laughing at me right now. Join the official fan club today to receive access to Cowboys drops. Yes, you know Barry might offer up some of his exclusive stuff where you can win game tickets, autograph items, exclusive experience, and much more. Please download the app. Go to Dallas Cowboys United. Let's do this.
That voice, man. You gotta get on the voiceovers, man.
I'm trying. I've been emailing folks and I've been getting out there. So, you
gotta get on there, man.
First thing you do, email your alma mater, see if you can do some of the hype videos, because they're always around there making hype videos, and become the voiceover for the hype videos for your people.
There it is. That's a good idea.
Hey, Omega Hero, that was the boy. I like that. I like that. I like that.
That is, man.
Hey, also during the season, you should try to be the mascot since you like to dance all the time. You know what I'm saying?
You good over there? And there he go with his pom-poms, Cisco Bar. You can be right there with me. We got yell leaders. Come on. Come join us.
What'd you say?
Hey, you take the bait every time.
Yeah. But that was a good one. You should, though. That'd be good with the A&M, though. Like, being in the height.
That was a good one.
Do the voice.
No, that was good.
You don't want to that can prepare.
Hey, what they say?
Voiceover.
Don't grin too hard. But yes, what Newy said was good. I thought you were addressing AD comment.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'm sorry. You know what? I tell them, America, and this is where I have no problem with. I am sensitive.
Man, I tell you
hey, we just hard on each other up here sometimes.
Players Lounge.
Players Lounge.
Barry Church, Anthony Dorsett. I'm Newy Scruggs. Boy.
Strong like bull.
Like bull.
Yes. Real quick, going back to Seattle, Super Bowl champions, just thinking Dallas Cowboys. How do you look at what the Super Bowl 60 champions did? Making sure, what are you doing here? Look at their first round draft picks and guys that were on that roster playing for them that day. In 2022, they took the left tackle Cross. So your left tackle is out here starting for you in the Super Bowl. In 23, you had 2 first-round picks. Remember, they moved off Russell Wilson. So they end up taking Witherspoon at 5. Okay, so you took Devin Witherspoon, number 5 overall. Then they had the 20th pick in that same draft in 2023. They take receiver Jackson Smith and Jigba. So 2 starters right there.
Both of them same draft?
Yes, sir.
Crazy.
Yes, sir.
They promised each other rookie year they're going to switch it around.
All right, Byron Murphy.
B. Murph. DeSoto.
Nose tackle, number 1 pick, 24. And then you take Zabel, the left guard, 25. So right there, you see that. And then your safety, Eamon Warry. Right, I'm saying his name wrong. He was a second round. He was a second round pick. So
he was cold.
Looking at just draft picks that are out here on the football field helping you out. You start looking here at the Cowboys in 2022. You had Tyler Smith. He's a Pro Bowl guard. Who knows? They played him at left tackle at the end. Where does he go? That thing needs to get figured out here. Mozzie Smith, 2023 first rounder. You got rid of him, traded him away. Tyler Guyton, first round pick in 2024. He was your left tackle, has not been healthy, may not be there again, might be moving over to the right side. That's an issue. Your second round pick that you took that year, Marshawn Nealon. You know, Marshawn Neal is now deceased. So you got 2 picks right there. It's been kind of iffy. 2025, you got Tyler Booker looking like he is going to be an impactful piece. And then if you want to push it back into 2021, you have Micah Parsons. He's no longer here. You look at that whole draft class right here, that first and second round pick. In 2021, Micah Parsons no longer here. Kelvin Joseph, second round pick, not here. Stop taking these dudes with issues.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing, man.
Issues. So that's what you got to do right there.
Hey, you forgot my dog Jay Reed too. By the way, he was a first-round pick for
Seattle. Okay.
No, another
Kakar.
You got to have these.
You do. You develop your own
your
talent.
Premium picks got to make a difference. Got to make a difference here. Carolyn Price. We spoke about Miss Price just a couple weeks ago, man.
Crazy.
On the show. Was it 2 weeks ago we spoke about Miss Price, and then we find out that Miss Price has now passed away. One of the ultimate Cowboy fans. And you knew her voice.
Yeah, there it is. That's a fan of the year. That
should have been fan of the year. Like, all the time. Like, I wanted to ask Newy, because you've been around the organization the longest out of all three of us. With them celebrating people, historically they haven't did right by their players. But are there some fans that get etched in stone, or it's like, hey, we're gonna do right by y'all?
Crazy Ray.
Crazy Ray.
Crazy Ray.
Crazy
Y'all remember Crazy?
No,
Black man that used to wear the cowboy costume in the stadium, whistle, would be all over the place, right? Crazy Ray was Mr. Price.
With the glasses?
Nah, he didn't wear glasses. He we gonna have to Google him. So
please, put me on.
But yeah,
Google Crazy Ray.
Yeah.
If you grew up watching the Cowboys in the 70s and the 80s, you knew him, and then even into the 90s.
Yeah.
Crazy Ray, man. He would wear the cowboy gear and the cowboy hat. He was at every game until his health failed him with diabetes and he passed away. Look, the Cowboys had taking care of Ms. Price on several instances to get her out to games and training camp. And so they have been good to Ms. Price during the years and allowing her access. That's why a lot of the guys knew her. So as an organization, the Cowboys did appreciate Ms. Price. In fact, I had someone yesterday from the front office reach out to me asking me about, did I know some funeral arrangements for Ms. Price? So she's appreciated, and
that's amazing.
Yeah. So from that
to the Cowboys for doing that.
It is wild because as we've all played, you playing in front of the 90,000, 100,000, and it's wild because when you're playing and you're locked in, you don't hear nothing. Like when the game's going on, I don't hear a word. Like it's just
right.
Then as soon as the game or the play's over, you kind of start hearing. But you can hear Ms. Price. Like, you can hear it.
Oh, yeah.
It was
every
like a sharp.
You get your popcorn!
She's cutting through all the fans. Like, it was wild.
It was iconic because it was the whole game. Like, when you think of, that extra fan, that extra boost, she's doing it during the warm-up. She's doing it during the play. She's doing it when it's quiet, when it's loud, and you know it. And then, even after she's doing all the yelling and the hollering, and it's always positive. She might tell you some stuff and be real with you, but as soon as you walk off the field at the end of the game, it's all right, baby. Come here, and she hit you with that big mama hug. Like, come on, baby. Next week you got this.
The playoff game against Green Bay.
Oh man,
you played in, man. I remembered when we were doing our interviews and people walking out the field. Miss Price was in tears in the suite. She was in tears because she, like a lot of Cowboy fans, thought. This is the year.
This was the season.
In 2016, Dak's rookie year. I remember that. Elliott, she thought it was. And that was, truly one of the more disappointing endings to a season that I've been a part of and covering this team, man. That was, but she was right there. She bled Cowboy blue, man.
Yes.
She was there. So
it's an honest love affair that lady had for this team. And when you saw, I saw a piece on her, was it this morning? I think it was. And listening to her talk about the team and her explaining her love for the team and how emotional she got as she was talking about it. It's one of those things where, as I watched it and just knowing her, and she cheered for me, and I ain't never play here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Real tough.
But just watching her and seeing how, she was real. She loved this team, man. And unfortunately, she passed away the other day, and I'm grateful, like you, that the Cowboys did do so much by her and for her and everything else like
100%,
that.
man.
No, she's plugged into my phone. She would call me from time to time to talk about the Cowboys.
She in my phone too. I'm sure she probably in a few Cowboy people's phones.
She loved this team, and Ms. Price, wherever you're at, up there in the sky looking down, I hope that. That one day, while she didn't get to see that dream of the Cowboys getting back to the Super Bowl, that it happens, and that someone like Miss Price can look down and smile.
I can still feel the nails on my. So if you walk by without giving her a hug, she's had these long nails. You can grab the bicep. Bow. Where you think you gonna come on over here? Come on, baby. Man, it was wild.
Yes.
Love that boy.
Looking here, Chris Bean. our producer extraordinaire, just gave me the unrestricted free agency list for 2026. Just a couple of names. So just looking, because we're talking about the Cowboys defense. Edge rusher, Trey Hendrickson, Jalen Phillips, Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, Cameron Jordan.
Sound like some age on there.
That's a lot. I'm about to say that's a lot of tread.
Youth
man.
on there.
So you want Kwity Paye, Hassan Reddick? I mean, so look, these are just players. See, that's all, just players here.
Yeah, I get you.
Look at the linebacker: Bobby Wagner, Demario Davis, Devin Bush, Devin Lloyd, Alex Singleton, Caden Ellis. So what you're looking,
What?
So,
I like some of those names, bro.
It's a lot of days, double-digit years.
N'Kobe Dean. Okay, so he said
Okay,
N'Kobe Dean played in
he's
Philadelphia.
Still young. Yeah, he's still young.
Josh Uche played, and Jalen Phillips, he's got to play in Philadelphia. So your defensive coordinator's from Philadelphia here.
They might naturally be coming here anyway. So follow them.
So anyway, just
follow me.
These
I know
are
the way.
just I'm just throwing out just names, just stuff here. Your job is to do what Seattle did, and even New England. Who can fit this scheme of what we're asking you to do? You may not need some all-pro super. Can you come in? Look at what they figured out with Tank Lawrence.
I was just about to say, don't disrespect old guys like that. First of all, like
what they did, Cooper Kupp.
Yes,
it was. So can you find that person who help complement what's going on? Anyway, that's the beauty of this thing. I mean, Joey Bosa in Buffalo, he was a part of it. They were a good team. Got beat in the playoffs, but he was a part of a good team. Can he help you? That's all you're looking for. He's like Khalil Mack.
He can help. You just don't want them to be. We're leaning on you to be the guy. You know what I mean? I don't want
him to be the guy. You got a second round pick over there that you're developing. You need a guy to come in and do what D. Ware did for Von Miller, like to help him develop that guy and like just play complimentary ball, like you said, and most importantly, be a good vet. Jay Reed came in there with that D line with a young B. Murph and Leonard Williams over there, and was just a proven vet that's been around great leadership. So, like when you think about a guy, Cam Jordan, that's been with the Saints and still actually producing pretty well, Khalil Mack, who's still been producing, and he's really quiet and he doesn't demand a lot of the media attention. And on top of that, he does have Pro Bowls attached to his name.
All pro, too.
And then this is something that's pretty interesting, too, and I'll say this for the defensive staff. When you bring in these coaches, they're obviously going to have guys they know and like. And can say, hey, look, this person can help me. I always remember when Phil Jackson came to the Lakers when I covered them, and he brought in John Sally. I mean, nobody was looking for John Sally to do anything close to what he did for the Pistons. But he had John in Chicago, and he brought John in there to help Shaquille O'Neal. Here's what I need you. He brings in Ron Harper. Hey, Kobe, go over here. We saw Dan Quinn go take Bobby Wagner with him to Washington. He was trying to get Bobby Wagner here. We're not asking for you to be that dude you used to be, but you saw what Cooper Kupp did and helped bring to Seattle. They didn't ask him to be the Triple Crown guy, but can you come in here and fit and help out and give us some snaps? Tank, the same thing. That to me, that's what I look at here. So as these defensive coaches start saying, who can help us? Because Lord knows there's a lot of help that's needed on that defense.
I will say this though, all the names you are talking about coming in here, great to be those type of depth pieces, but they all had that guy that was an unbelievable talent that they were trying to nurture to get to that next level. When you look here, who's that guy that, DeMarcus Ware, Von Miller, Sally, Shaquille O'Neal, Harper, Kobe.
Legit question.
Who can be that guy that they're like, okay, we're trying to buffer this guy up to be that guy.
And maybe they're drafted. Maybe that's part of the draft.
You got to hit. Yeah,
maybe that's a part of the draft process. Yeah. But, this is the thing. Keep in mind, what they did in Seattle took a couple of years.
It did. Yeah,
so this thing, man, I'm not sitting here looking ahead. The Cowboys going to be Super Bowl 61.
Yeah.
But can you get better than what you had? And Lord knows, I don't think, and this is just my opinion, guys, I don't think the defensive players they had were as bad as it looked because that scheme, nobody bought into that damn thing. And you saw how many people they fired the defensive coordinator, how many other coaches they let go get out of the building. So
bad all around.
Yeah, so there's a whole lot of issues going on here. How do you fix the culture and do a reset here? So let's see what they do, because you can change things. Things can change in this league.
Yes, they can.
They can change, and then if you get a belief and everybody starts fighting, okay, boom. So we'll see.
Carpenter got to have his tools. They got to do what they did for Dan Quinn. Remember when Dan Quinn came in there, they gave him all those picks, and they was like, you know what? Pick what your defense is going to be.
Did he have a chance to do his staff like this too?
Yes.
Yep. And they gave him all those picks.
Dirty up front. Then you had Joe Witt Jr. So he got to bring in his people. he got to bring in his people. So look at Aiden Dirty. He goes to Seattle, and no one couldn't say bring in a Tank Lawrence.
Yeah, that's true.
So Aiden Dirty's defensive coordinator. Here's a guy I know and knows what to do, and it was a part of the help. A part of the help. And so anyway, this is the beauty of what you do, covering this sport here. All right, fun times. Anthony Dorsett.
Sure.
Damontre Moore, Barry Church. I'm Newy Scruggs for Chris Beam, Josh, and everybody who makes it happy here at DallasCowboys.com. We'll talk to you next week.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!